Talkline with Zev Brenner, America's premier Jewish broadcast on the air since 1981.
And now, here's your host.
Welcome back to the program, Zev Brenner. Always a treat to have Inspector Richie Taylor with us on a broadcast commanding officer. He's with the New York Police Department, a top-ranking yarmulke-wearing police officer in New York. So, Shavua Tov, thank you for joining us again. Good to have you back.
Shavua Tov, Zev. Always a pleasure to be back. Thank you.
It was nice to see you the other night at a dinner with some American Israeli officials, one of the Knesset members, also Mike Pompeo, and also I saw you at the Hanukkah party. So you're there. You're definitely on the scene. So thank you for joining us. Good to see you.
You bring up the Hanukkah party. It was a great time, at Gracie Mansion with Mayor Eric Adams. It was great to see you. You always bring in love. You always bring in good things, a good word. And it's always great to share many great simchas with you and many more to come.
Now, it was good to be with you, but today you had a busy day because you had to visit different shuls. So tell us, because whenever there is a terror incident, for example, in Israel, the NYPD goes into high alert, and today being Shabbos, people going to shul, so there's more exposure because people out there. So tell us about what the NYPD was doing to make us safe.
Absolutely. With our NYPD Intelligence Bureau, we monitor things around the world, including Israel, especially in Israel in a lot of ways. We have a detective assigned to Israel that gives us information, intelligence in real time as to exactly what's going on. He responds to whether it's a terrorist attack. He responds to a situation room with top leaders of the police and intelligence agencies in Israel. And he's there as an NYPD detective in Israel. He's there to keep people in New York City safe. When I was in Israel, sorry, I'm actually on the street now with some shuls. When I was in Israel just a few months ago, I know I was on your show after that as well to speak about the recap of that trip that we did with the mayor's office. Mayor Eric Adams sent a delegation of city employees to Israel, including myself. I was very fortunate to be on that trip for the mayor with Joel Eisdorfer, great friend of mine. I'm actually with him now, serves as senior advisor to the mayor. I know a great friend of yours as well, Zev, Joel Eisdorfer.
Absolutely. I don't see him on camera. We're doing it.
He's in a meeting, but he's coming out.
You're working late night. I see that. So.
Oh, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. We went with Frank Carone, the mayor's chief of staff. We went with Tim Pearson, deputy, one of the senior advisors to the mayor of public safety, and we went with the commissioner of the mayor's office of international affairs, Ed Mermelstein. But when we were in Israel, we saw firsthand on how they operate, on the threats that they face every day, the challenges that they face every day to keep people of Israel safe. And like you said, when we have a terrorist attack around the world, in Israel or any place around the world, we look at that and we look at what's the possibility of a nexus to New York City, a cell in New York City, anything. But it's also the police department's job. It's in addition to keeping people safe, it's also the police department's job to make sure people feel safe. And feeling safe is something that we do as much as we can by professional police presence, whether it's marked police cars around synagogues and other houses of worship, whether it's police officers in uniform, whether it's the meetings that we have at police headquarters that I know, Zev, that you've gone to so many of them, like before Rosh Hashanah, before Pesach, before Passover. We have meetings at police headquarters in the auditorium with the mayor, with the police commissioner, and we go over our plans. We go over what is going on in New York City. And we ask that the leaders send that sentiment, send the message that we're giving to them over to people in the community. We want people to know that the police department's finger is on the pulse of every community of New York City, including the Jewish community, of course, especially the Jewish community in regards to the concerns before Yontiv, before Shabbos, like we had the terrorist attack in Israel that happened just before Shabbos here. Horrific terrorist attack. And surely people, especially with family in Israel, who have that sense of fear. We don't want that to happen in New York City. And that's why around the Jewish communities of New York City, and around every community of New York City, we deploy police vehicles, lights on, again, police uniform presence to houses of worship. I myself, I went to a few different shuls over this Shabbos, had my police officers out. We worked very closely with Brooklyn South. We have Chief McAvoy in Brooklyn South that made sure the deployment of police vehicles out. Chief Madry, the chief of department now for the NYPD. I know, Zev, Chief Matry has been on the program with me a few times. He's been promoted to chief of department, the highest ranking uniform member of the police department recently. I know he wants to come back onto the show soon with you.
Let's get him back.
We absolutely will get him back. And his heart and soul is in it, in the direction of the police commissioner herself, Police Commissioner Keyshawn Sewell, in the direction of the mayor. The mayor was a police officer, so he knows how important public safety
The
is.
mayor's very vested in fighting anti-Semitism. Went to the conference over.
Very much. As a matter of fact, just Thursday, 2 days ago, the mayor led a screening called Devorah's Hope. It was on Holocaust Remembrance Day at police headquarters. Joel Eisdorfer put this together. It was a screening of a film called Devorah's Hope about a brother and sister who survived, and their story of the Holocaust and survival during the Holocaust. That was shown at police headquarters. The mayor was there for the entire film, over an hour. The mayor spoke beautifully, but he sets the tone of New York City that anti-Semitism will never be tolerated, that no hate will be tolerated. And to any person who feels they will commit, they should commit, or could commit, whoever they think, they could commit an act of any crime against any person because of their religious belief, they will be arrested. We work with our district attorneys to prosecute. We'll have absolutely no tolerance for hate crimes or crimes of any sort like that whatsoever. And that's how we operate in New York City. We keep fighting the good fight, and we know we have the support of so many good people of New York City. And I thank you, Zev, for always that partnership, for allowing me to amplify that message.
No, I think it's so important. Perhaps you can share this because you have the big shuls. You have a lot of shtibels that are small shuls in places like Borough Park and Crown Heights, Williamsburg. You have a lot of these small shuls that may not have a sign in the front, or it's in people's homes. So the police, do they deploy police cars to all the little shtibels too, the little shuls as well?
It's a great question. So a lot of times the little shul shtibelach, they do pop up. The best way to ensure that you have that police presence there is to go into your precinct, go to your community affairs officer, go online, our Twitter page. We always have our community council meetings publicized. To go and speak to your precinct commander, speak to your community affairs officer, tell them what's going on in the community, tell them that, and it's not just for Brooklyn. So I know you have listeners across the entire city, state, and beyond, but every part of the city, especially, I encourage anyone to listening to this who would feel that, even if it's a small shul, to go onto the NYPD website, nyc.gov/NYPD, and see which precinct oversees, which covers your area. See your neighborhood coordination officers. If you type in, is a very interesting thing that we did, innovative. If you go onto the police department's website, nyc.gov/NYPD, you see a tab that says Find My Precincts. You click that tab, you type in an address. That will not only give you the precinct that your house of worship or that location is in, but it'll also give you the contact information for the police officers who are assigned as a neighborhood coordination officers for that small area of the precinct. It's a great tool. Then you call, you email them, get the ball rolling like that. It's a great tool that should be utilized as much as possible to get the message out. And you have police officers there, invite them in. It's about that connection, about that community connection. Before Passover, now Pesach coming up soon. So, I know Purim's not here yet, but time flies when you're having fun. Before Passover, we'll have a pre-Passover briefing at police headquarters. We'll have a few hundred people there.
What's Purim? Chop liver?
Purim keeps us busy too, Zev. It keeps us very busy.
I know. You have a lot of people walking in the street, so it definitely keep you busy. We should have a briefing before Purim also. Bring some hamantash.
But time flies. We have Purim coming up. But so like we say, we start preparing for the New Year's Eve detail on January 1st. So we start preparing for Pesach, even now for Passover. So we're starting to get the ball rolling for a free Passover briefing. A lot of people go away, a lot of concerns, whether it's burglaries, whether it's anti-Semitic attacks, whether it's just shul security in general. And we want to be as there for the community, as there for the people as we can. That's what we strive to every single day in the police department.
Inspector Richie Taylor, thank you for all that you do. We appreciate it. And I know you worked in the morning. You're still working right now, even though it's late at night. But you're smiling still. So keep the smile going and keep on doing what you're doing a fantastic job. Send our regards to Joel and the whole crew. And and continued success and keep us all safe. That's what you're doing. And thank you for your service, for what you're doing for all of us.
Thank you, Zev. I know I wanted to come on sooner. I know I just had the MDY, the Daf Yomi, Rabbi Eli Stefanski. We just had the CM, so I just spoke at that. That's why I was delayed to come on. But I'm always looking forward to listening to your show, to come on your show. Thank you for helping me, helping the police department amplify our message. I always appreciate your friendship and looking forward to seeing you.
Look forward to that and keep up. I know you were to see him, so we're supposed to do it earlier, but we're glad that you joined us, and continue success and get some rest too. You need to get some rest also.
Thank you. Thank you, Zev. It's all about Achdus and everyone coming together. Thank you, Zev.
Thank you, Inspector
You're welcome.
Richie Taylor, here on the Talkline Network. Okay.